good morning or good evening. We're gonna jump straight into the video today because I can't be bothered to be editing about 20 more videos. First video, after we got off the boat and was walking around the town. It was a very pretty town. Sweet Caroline.
Times never seem so good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh yeah. Feel free to dance anywhere you want, okay?
Is there really anything that needs to be said there? You better have all been singing along. Here is where I tried a fresh coconut, where they cut the top off. You got to take a sip so it would lower down the juice thing, the coconut water, and then added loads of other stuff in to make it taste really nice. Except I didn't really like it, but it wasn't a bad drink, it just wasn't my sort of drink. And we're back on top of the ship, on one of the top decks, looking out over the ocean and the island. This next clip, to make sense, you're going to need a bit of a story time. It'll only be like 3 minutes, but still. I'm going to add some sort of video, whatever I can find in between, so you're not just staring at blackness. Yeah. I'm going to start off by saying that I'm sorry if the audio is worse than my previous videos, because CapCut, the app that I use, has now made it so you have to pay for 2 of the features I was using the most to edit the noise. Because my voice is quite loud, as you can probably tell, meaning making videos has always been a bit difficult, because my voice will go spike. It will spike. Right now, all of it is in the red, and this is my normal talking voice. So, I used the voice reduction thing, the noise reduction, and the leveling volume, and both of them are now premium things, and I can't afford premium, and I've got better things to buy. So I might end up buying it at one point, but the audio is going to be worse than it was before, and you're just going to have to deal with it if you actually want to watch my videos. Yeah. Now to start the story. On the Morella ships, the ones that I always go on, there is an exclusive charm that is only sold new on those ships, on board in the onboard shops. And on the second day, I believe, I went to the shops, as people do, and had a look around, and I saw the charm. And it was one of those items that, you know, when you see something in a shop and you fall in love with it and you need to get it. So I did. So I came back with my mother that night. Later that night, came back with her, showed her the price of £50. I did not have that much on my... Oh no, it wasn't that I didn't have that much on my account. It was that buying on the ship charges to the cruise card, not your credit card immediately. It will charge to the cruise card, and you'll need to link a credit card to the cruise card. And obviously it wasn't going to be linked to mine, so it was linked to my parents. So I needed permission from them to buy the charm on their account and pay them back with the money on my account. So that night we went up and had a look, and as parents do, they told me, we'll think about it. So I turned up the next night as well to have another look. because it was such a pretty charm, and definitely one of the favourite Pandora charms I've ever gotten. Yeah, it was a Pandora charm, completely forgot to mention that. And it was a little boat with a hanging anchor, and it was blue with little cut out hearts in it, and it's so pretty. Now, where the next clip will start to make sense. Every time I went to that shop, because there's individual little shops that different staff members will run, and there was one lady who obviously had that duty for the week, and she was really, really nice, and we talked quite a bit about the charm and different Pandora charms and things like that. And we talked a lot about the charm, and she could tell how excited I was to get the charm. And I was also told that there was a limited amount. And when you want something, or when I want something at least, I make sure I can get it. I ended up checking every other day until the date that they were releasing the charm to make sure that I would be there for the release. I told both of my parents, and I counted down the days till the release. And then I turned up an hour before the shop opened and stood outside. And I almost lost my spot because I left for 5 minutes to get a drink at the shop next door. It's not a shop, it's called the Coffee Pot, but it was next door to the shops. And I was really quick. But another family had turned up, but luckily my mother had gotten the spot for me and saved it. I then, when the shop opened, spoke with the lady again. We had a chat, and I sat down on one of the chairs and waited for another half an hour in the shop until the reveal actually happened. While I was sat there, I mentioned the time a few times because she ended up being about 5 minutes late. And it was fine, it was like a jokey thing. And at one point she had said to me, "You might as well help me open it, help me reveal it." And my mother then said, "Don't say that, she would actually do it." And then about maybe 10 minutes before the reveal, she said to me, "Are you ready to do the reveal with me?" And I turned to her and asked her, "Wait, you were serious?" And she was like, "Yeah, of course I was serious." And then we went outside of the shop. You'll see what happens next.
I work in the Pandora shop during the Pandora ship charm launch. This is an exclusive charm. It's exclusive to TUI ships. So I don't have many of the ship charms. I have only a couple. So always first come, first serve. So here is our ship charm launch, and Michaela is going to help me with the revealing of our ship charm. Let's do it. Here we go.
Dun 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 dun. Woo! Yay!
Help, my computer is being so laggy while I'm trying to make this. So that was probably one of the most memorable moments so far in my life, because it was a fun holiday and a fun experience. After that, I was then led into the shop first, put at the front of the line because I'd been there the longest, and given the charm first. say goodnight to day 5, because here comes day 6. Where we had docked that day, there was another cruise ship docked beside us, which caused a funnel-like effect with the wind, which was a nice contrast to all the heat. The drums or something, and it just sounded really nice. Time skip to being on a coach. We were heading to an alcohol and chicken tasting, so it wasn't the most fun for me as a vegetarian and a minor.
By this red door is what we call 1840. Why we call it 1840? This is Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth Prison Department, and this area is where we host the prisoners here on the island. Now 1840 because this building being constructed back in 1840, and that's why we call the building 1840. We have flow and NSL. Those are we took telecommunication here on the island. Ralph Electronic Place. Downstairs is Dr. office. Upstairs bookstore. And First Care Pharmacy and my Brothers Mall. Here is the center of Victoria Road and 4th Street into Keon Street. Victoria Road also you have the Boys School and Girls School, and you have the Methodist Church. Next to it is one of our sporting complex again that we play football, soccer here on the island. Now from the Catholic Church, come right back to West Bongod. Back in the 17th century you had a fire that blazed vast here and devastated the town. That was before we had town in here first. The first town of the French was on the other side, which is the north side. But this area here had a fire, all this area used to be sugarcane before. They had a fire vast here go right down to West Bongod, so they had to build up in this area. We are going to also see Cali Street where the water channel from the mountain come down to the sea. Now, to your right is the St. George's Anglican Church, but this was the first burial ground of the Catholic. You'll see some tombstone in there reminding you that this was the first burial ground of the Catholic before it came Anglican Church. Anglican Church was built back in the late 1700s. It holds at least 250 people in that church. One of the largest Anglican churches here on the island. Now, Church Street being the name of the Anglican Church. We have businesses of lawyers, funeral parlor, Pansilo Bakery and Deli, and you also have boutiques. That black and white building, back in 1932, start of the Trade and Labor Union, Houston and Guerrilla defending the workers' rights. Houston and Guerrilla Trade and Labor Union Master's House. Our Treasury Department, and you also have the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis. This building is what we call the White House or the government headquarters, where our Prime Minister and Ministers of Government with the people's work here on the island. Now, College Street got, like I was explaining to you, this got come about of water spout that jump in the mountain, so that channels all the water come down to the sea. Now this also uses the main way from the mountain to the sea. That's control the water during hurricane and rainy season. So when the sea is having heavy rain in the mountain especially, the gut come down, no one allowed to park, no vehicles inside of the gut, otherwise it's going to take them straight down to the sea. Now we also have our Social Security building, or what we call the East St. John Payne Annex. Social Security is mandatory here in the island. Once you work it, you have to pay Social Security. When you reach the age of 62 years, you retire, you get a gratuity, you get a funeral grant of $3,500 to assist you in funeral grant. Spouse or loved one pass away, you also get a weekly and monthly salary from Social Security. This building also being named of our first premier, the Right Excellent building. So that's a nice property to buy. You also become citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis by investment here on the island. Now this area that we call Hainsmith Village, we also have the Patsialas playing field, one of our different areas that we do different activities, and especially the school kids also use it. As you can see, they're doing some training right now. This is the Dr. William Connor Primary School, which all schools here on the island have to wear uniform. There is not a school on the island with the same uniform, so you can identify each individual student and know what school they're attending to. As you can see, the school is fully air conditioned, natural air. Natural air. And this is the last week for school. School will be going on break. So the kids will be out for 2 to 3 weeks vacation. Easter vacation. Now straight down to my right is our 6th form college where we do Cape and Overseas exam. Straight ahead of me, that red and white building, that's the head of state. That's our Governor General home. And we just installed our first lady as Governor General head of state. So we're stepping up the ladies in the high ranks. Right, head of state. In front of me now, people just cannot wait. They are dying to get here. This is the Underground Hotel, where you check in and never check out. When you check in and check in 6 feet down, the Underground Hotel, where somebody is checking for getting prepared there. Now here we're looking at the 40 acres of land back in 1856. We had a cholera disease that plagued the island, and they insist everyone must bury in one stop to stop the stem of that disease from spreading into the city. That's how we come about that cemetery. Our preschool, one of the preschool by the Methodist Church, from 2 to 5 years old, they also wear uniform here on the island. So you know, each different preschool wear a different uniform on the island. To my right is 103 Hospital, it's the Joseph J. Farm General Hospital, which have an emergency center with 7 ambulances in case of any big emergency on the island. We also have an EMS wing to the western side of the hospital, name of one of our late Minister of Health, so Nathaniel Joseph Farms, also one of our national heroes. And 5 national heroes, which 4 already passed away, 1 alive. This is our first Prime Minister. Our Caribbean faction #1 in the Caribbean that makes the Caribbean, Scarabbean, Starkbean, Heineken, Giant Malt, Chick-Singer, Pearcello, Apple Cider, Wild and Southern Guinness, and a pure natural grapefruit drink, a non-alcohol beverage. Slogan is think with a thing, says something, #1 chaser in any type of rum. Just to name a few, we still make a lot of different other drinks, but I won't call all of them one time. Also to my right is the Buckley's Estate back in 1935, where they had a riot here, uprising on this estate, where 2 people lose their life defending their rights at the Buckley's Estate. Caribbean Cinema, the 7-screen movie theater, so you choose which one you want to watch from the Caribbean Cinema. Alongside it is Domino Pizza, and everybody know Best Buy. Best Buy is an electronic place, but here Best Buy is a supermarket, not electronic. Everyday low prices down.
One of the things I found most interesting was the exhibit in the basement about historical slavery in the Caribbean. Time skipped back on the boat and the very pretty left. And straight to bedtime.